Endless possibilities stretched out before you. Whatever happens from now on, stand firm and face your destiny without fear. What awaits him down the path will then even leave your own and search for this quest. Why did you make me for? Have you been keeping space with your own mind?
What's up, Mars? It's Chaos. This is Devin Valentine Gaming, Gamer. Let's get on. Let's get to the topic. I wanted to talk about the Cooking with Kai situation with the streamers, Kai Snet's, Streamer University. And the only reason I can actively say or have an opinion on this because I was the guy that was supposedly Kai's ex-boyfriend. I was one. The girl I was messing with, the girl I dated, the model chick. Yeah, she left me in the dust because of a little bit of success. Because if you're not on the same levels of stuff, it's never gonna work out. And I'm gonna tell you why. It just won't. You'll get ignored, and then the people that's in the same field or anything like that appears, then yes, you're going to instantly lose your girl slowly and painfully by somebody else within that field. And the thing is, I understand. And I've watched some of the videos. He started looking more invisible while other guys, and before the other guys were like, being able to flirt with her and riz her up while he's like in the background. He's always in the background. And then like now, since now she's in Kai Sinet's Streamers University. It's one of those moments it's one of those big moments where like you made it for streamer version. Now, yeah, the Streamers University is mostly for black streamers, but that's beyond the point. The point is, she's made it. She's now with other big names, Duke Dennis being one of them, and all that stuff. So she's gonna want to be more around those kind of people, and it makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a situation where it's not really a story, but an explanation. Okay, let's go back many years ago where you're in high school. You go to anime club the first time because you're in anime, so you're a geek. You meet this other girl geek that's in the same stuff as you are. Okay? You spent the rest of your high school years even taking a prom and whatever not. But even before that, you do your Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, you do your nerd stuff, and she's with you, she supports you, she's your ride or die. And then she gets in college, she gets a little hotter. And now she's got modeling opportunities and a much better life than she could have without the that she didn't have when she didn't do no modeling. Now she's in a position where she can model, or maybe she posted something on social media that's got her enough views. So she's either let's for argument's sake, she's a model. Now, the reason why Kaya said that, I think his name's Zay, had to be established, it just means you gotta be on the same level of success. This is another reason why I also strongly disagree with age gap relationships, because if you're not on the same level, same level or same field, it's just never gonna work out. No matter how good you are, no matter how attractive you are. I don't care, let's just say you do make money like that. Let's just say you do lift weights like that, and you are like Big Chad with the jawline. If you're not in the same field, if you and your girl are in different fields in life, different levels of life, it's never going to work out. Sooner or later, she's going to meet someone much better. And then what's going to happen is that much better person is going to imprint on the person. And then what's going to really happen is you're going to get your feelings hurt real bad. in a way where you never had this before. And I think that's what's happened. And I feel sorry for the guy because I was this guy. 2 years ago, I was like that. And I was crashing out. I was posting social media stuff. I was going crazy. I was losing my mind. Trying to figure out, how could she do this to me? I thought she was loyal. You gotta understand the girls that choose the social media or the entertainment lifestyle. We'll call it the Hollywood. I call it the Hollywood curse. The minute that they get fame, fortune, money, or even attention from higher level people, they're gonna want that. They're gonna want to drop you at where you are. I think that Kyle was making up the whole thing that he should be out of the house and hanging out with guys. I think it was a defense mechanism to say, look, I coldly and ruthlessly, cut my guy out because he's not on the same level as success I am. And it don't even have to be social media stuff. My ex was an official model. She did do modeling catwalks. She was an owner of a certain store I can't say on social media because they don't like certain kind of talk, but she was a part owner. She was doing completely well in life. Me, I was still in the first year of my grocery store job. First year of my it'd be first year of my grocery store job. So it's like, I was way below her, irregardless of how much I lifted, irregardless of how much. It would have been, she would have wanted to find a much better lifestyle for her. And when she moved to a different different location for, to get her own store that she owns completely, she did. She became more successful, and I was just in the way. So my dumb ass decided to call, text, and then show up. And yeah, the reason why I bring this up because it's exactly what he did. This guy decided to go and show up at Streamers University or the club in Streamers University. I guess he got mad because he saw what he didn't like. I'm assuming that's exactly what the story is, but I mean it's similar to mine, but it's something I've learned right there. It's life works differently with women than it is men. But it could also work the same way too. It could be a successful man, who dated a regular woman, that didn't have no social media presence. They didn't have no presence on any kind of thing, no clout, no money, no nothing, or a very homely girl. They probably went to Catholic school together, who knows? And now he's in a place where now he can get what he wants. He's at a place where he's, I wouldn't say beating capitalism, but gone to a point where now just his name could get him any girl he wants. Like the league barriers just broken at that point. That's just the reality of human beings. Human beings are willing to sacrifice whatever they can to get that better life. That's just how it is. Just to cover up a lot of the problems that they have, thinking that's going to fix everything, when realistically it doesn't. I will say this again, and I will say this. Fame and money does not unlame you. All it does is just pushes out the worst versions of yourself. Not that anything else. I have watched a little bit of Cooking with Kya because I was wondering why she got so much hate from all these girls. I did watch like an episode of one Cooking with Kya, and she did kind of brag about taking, girls, dudes. Which, let's be honest, that's not gonna be that's not some wifey material right there, buddy. But that's besides the point. So I've seen a little bit of what she is and stuff like that. is it really hard not to understand that she was going to be picking, the fame and fortune and all these guys that's above a little bit above her league, that's made it in this big crowd. Because if you join the Streamers University, let's put it this way, it's just like it is join the FaZe Clan back in the day. I don't know if it's the same way now. It's the same way. It's just as almost as equal as even becoming a Hollywood actor or actress. Once you get introduced to that super successful life, that becomes your whole personality. That becomes who you are as a person. You don't just stop where you are. You want to continue. And that's why she was trying to get him to be more established. And then, that's what they mean. I've heard that before. Not exactly in the same wording, but, they'll complain. They'll deny that they were with the person that was basic. But when Kya was a civilian, she would obviously deny that she was with this man now because it doesn't fit with the current lifestyle that she has going on. But I do feel for the guy because that was me 2 years ago. I was like that. And that shit sucks. That hurts. That's what I'm talking about right now. That stuff really hurts. Being the squeegee while you're dating the popular girl before she became popular, and then when she finally became popular, she dropped you. And they ain't gonna tell you, so they'll make up some issues and arguments that does not mean anything. Just to say, yes, I am cutting you off because you no longer fit my lifestyle. You no longer serve. And it's the same thing when it comes to these guys that simp for these e-girls. You gotta come to understand there is nothing they can gain from interacting with you. So they'll let you comment whatever you want and boost the ego, but they're never gonna let you hit or smash. Realistically, expeditiously, they're not gonna do that. But I feel bad for the student because I've been there. It sucks. It sucks being that one guy or get put in the friend zone when a better person comes up there. It does suck. It's just like those movie tropes where the rival character gets your love of your life and you're left with nothing. I know it's like to be that. You feel like a loser. It sucks. I hope he keeps his head up and finds someone much better. But nonetheless, it's just you understand that you got to be in the same roadmap as the person you're with. Otherwise, it's just never going to work. So if they do get famous, I'm sorry, you're going to have to stay back or maybe be a fan or a supporter or cameraman, but I don't think it's going to be possible for you to be, completely, in their life in that kind of way no more. So all I got to say is that, when the day comes to cut your girl off because she got a little bit more clout and money and now she thinks she's too good to be around you, it's just time to say goodbye. No tears, no crash outs, no none of that stuff. It's just time to move on, see the writing for what it is. In fact, God's going to give you a much better person when you just, stay calm and just, deal with it. Getting angry isn't going to do anything. Just move on, do better, and level up your life so she can see what she missed out on. And give it to a woman that deserves you. That's all. May the crystal bless you. And this has been a lesson to people who need to know.